Hi, hello, all. Good morning or good afternoon. Thank you all for joining in today. Today is our second last episode of the season, season one free Intune training, and this is provided by How to Manage Devices community. And in this week, we were testing our RBAC policies, Intune RBAC policies, and yesterday we created a custom policy and we discussed about difference between host scope groups and scope tags, right? So I think I made this clear in this picture, right? Today it is more clear, so I think probably most of you can understand it now, right? So scope group is basically for devices, scoping out the devices and users. Okay, so scope group is for basically scoping out devices and groups, right? So this is the same method which we use in SCCM as well, as I showed yesterday. Okay, and scope tags are basically for scoping out all the other scopable objects. Okay, so when I say scopable objects, so there are a lot of scopable objects apart from applications and configuration profiles in Intune. Okay, so you can see that when you go to each objects, right, compliance policy, if you go to compliance policy, for example, and if you go to properties of a compliance policy, and if you can see scope, then that is a scopable object, right? The same way in SCCM, you can see, if I can go back to SCCM, if you can see this symbol in SCCM on an object, that means that that is a scopable object. For example, if I go to administration and if I go to, I don't know, boundaries, right? So if I go to boundaries are not scopable object, right? There is no symbol over here. Scope option is not there. But if you check the boundary groups are scopable object, right? See, you can see a symbol over here, lock symbol, right? So that means you can add a scope to that. The only admin with that particular scope assigned will be able to manage and see this object. So that is the main difference between scopable object and non-scopable object, right? Boundaries are not scopable, but boundary groups are scopable in SCCM world or configuration manager world. Same thing in Intune, right? Okay, I don't know what did I launch there. Okay, so let me go back to the Intune, and Intune compliance policies are scopable, right? And if I go to devices, right? If I go to device, a particular device, right? Earlier there was a scope tag over here for each devices, right? See, scope tag, right? Open, right? So over here you can assign, if you want, you can assign a scope tag. So this is basically done through scope groups. Okay, you don't need to do it through the scope tag over here. Okay, so if I go to some other objects, I don't know, maybe uh, even tenant administration, right? Tenant administration over here, roles, right? If I go to custom role over here also the scope is there, right? By default the scope is default one, right? It's assigned to default. Okay, now yesterday what we have seen is basically we have removed all the accesses to help desk user, and we didn't add any particular role kind like Intune administrator or something from Azure AD. And when we checked the portal with that help desk user login, it was not a like the access was not there. So what I realized was it is a timing issue. Okay, so after a few hours when I checked back, okay, this environment yesterday, I was able to see the devices, right? Able to see the devices and all the other stuff, right? So if I go to devices, right, you can see now only the personal devices. You know why? Because if I go back over here in the admin, this is admin login, right? Admin login of Intune. And if I go to our assignment over here, custom role over here, and go to assignment and see help desk admin assignment, click on that, you can see we have mentioned scope group as all personal devices. So if you check all personal devices in Azure Active Directory groups, right? If I go to Azure Active Directory groups and all personal devices, this is the group for all personal devices. So you would be able to see these three missions, right? These three devices, okay, in personal, all personal devices group, right? That is why it, the help desk admin can only see the personal devices in his portal, right? So that is good news, right? So as expected, this is working now, right? Okay. Now, if I go into the each device, you would be able to see the related actions available for me, right? For that admin. This is help desk admin. Okay. A repair, wipe, sync, restart. A delete option is not there because we have not provided that permission in the role, right? As you remember, if I go back to that particular role, right, properties, and if I search with the delete, I don't know, delete option is not coming. Okay, let me edit that, so that would be easy. Okay, so if I go over here, this is the device configuration, right? This is the device configuration. So delete device configuration profile, delete device enrollment restrictions. No, not this one. We need to find out option for that. Manage devices, probably this one, right? Manage devices. So manage devices, delete Intune manage devices. So the delete permission we have not given to this particular HTMD custom role, and it is not given to HTMD user, right? Admin user. That is why the delete option is not enabled, right? So let me check by enabling this, right? Say I'm going to enable the delete option for this particular user, so help desk admin, okay, and click save. Now let's see whether it is it is getting enabled over here or not for this particular user, admin user. Okay, it's still not there, probably a timing issue, I don't know. Okay, do I need to log off and log in back? I'm not sure. Let me go back to devices and let me check again, right? Okay, so let me try to log off and log in back if that helps or not. sign out, close, and let me launch the private window and portal. Sorry, not portal. Endpoint.microsoft.com and okay. Where is my user name? Okay. Happy that I can remember the password. At devices, if I go to devices, hopefully, if demo codes are with me, then probably no. Restart completed? What is that? Restart completed. Okay, so let's leave it and give it some more time. I don't know why it is not coming up. Probably let me check again whether that was the correct one or not. So help desk edit, go back and manage devices and delete Intune managed devices. Deleted devices can no longer be managed by Intune. The device cannot no longer access by company portal. That's all fine. Okay, I think that is it, right? I think it is that one. Delete. Okay, let us wait and see. Okay, so let's go back to the help desk admin portal experience and see what are the other things which is kind of different, right? If I go to Windows, filter with Windows, and if I go to compliance policies, I don't see any compliance policies, right? Because none of the compliance policies are assigned to this particular scope, help desk scope, right? So if I go back to admin login, right? This is admin login, and if I go back to assignment, you can see the scope is help desk, right? Scope tag is help desk, right? And if I go to devices, Windows, and compliance policies, our compliance policy scope tag is default, right? As you can see over here, this is default, right? If I change this from default, right, and add help desk, and probably if I remove default, right, then I save this complaints policy. If I can save that, okay, I saved it. Now if I quickly go back, as you can see, now it is help desk over here. From a admin login, we changed it. Now we are going back to help desk, right? Help desk login, and I'm checking like this, right? Oh, okay, it appeared now. See, at least this worked, right? So if you go to properties, this is help desk admin, right? So you can see help desk. Okay, same thing is applicable for configuration profiles. So at the moment, there is no configuration profile available in help desk for a help desk admin user. Okay, so let's go back to admin, and if I go back to configuration profiles over here, this is admin login. Okay, and I'm saying I'm going to remove Chrome policies scope. Now it is Bristol, right? So let it be Bristol only, right? Now let's change some other Chrome ADMX. Okay, so we have gone through Chrome ADMX details also in the previous video. So if you are not seen that, please go ahead and watch those videos to understand how to configure these policies, etc. Right? So scope tag, right? Scope tag default. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to add our scope tag for help desk, and I'm going to remove default, save. Now, hopefully, after saving this, if I quickly go back to HTMD help desk user, right? And if I go back to configuration profile and just a refresh probably, right? Oh, okay, refresh happened, and you can see the help desk user or admin can see the Chrome ADMX policies because we changed the of scope tag of that particular policy, as you can see over here, right? So same thing is applicable for applications as well, right? In applications, if I go to applications over here, Windows probably, right? We are only worried about Windows. So only the application which has help desk scope tag is any connect. I think which yesterday we did this for this particular application. That is why it shows over here, right? For the help desk user. So that is the basic idea of scope tag and scope groups, right? So for example, you can repeat this for all the applicable policies, right? I don't know whether it is possible for reports and all are generic, right? So probably I don't know whether this is possible for reports and all the other stuff, but yeah. And if I go to tenant administration and roles, and even scope tags, right? Even that is interesting, right? If I go to Bristol and you can see assignment over here, right? If I go and edit, you can select the assignment group, right? So this is for company owned devices. So if I want to check, let me create a new user, right? Let me create a new user and uh, quickly create a new user over here. uh, um Bristol, Bristol. So let me say Bristol. Okay, first name. Okay, that's fine. I think I don't know. Okay, let me do that. Okay, scope groups, nothing, block, assign, usage location. This is important, right? So let me see. United Kingdom. Okay, and create the user, right? And I created the user, and let me copy this. Now, let me save this somewhere here. Okay. Okay, so now if I go to assign roles of this user, there's nothing over there, right? There's nothing over there. No assignment, no specific rules. There is no license because we don't need license anymore for Intune admins. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log off, right? Sign out from the help desk user, right? And I'm going to assign a role, probably a custom role, right? Read only role, right? No. Custom role, custom help desk role. I don't know which role is this and which access it has. It was created before, right? So I'm going to edit the scope tag and add Bristol to this, right? And remove the default one. And once that is done, then probably you can assign this, right? Bristol admin, right? And you can say, okay, that's fine. Next, this is the group. Okay, I have not added any group for this user, right? So let me create a group also. Mm-hmm. Bristol, Bristol admin, right? And admin group for Bristol, right? So direct assignment, direct assignment is fine. So let's create this group, Bristol admins, and add members. Hmm, That's interesting. I have seen this issue before also. I'm not able to add any users, direct members. Maybe I need to go to users and Bristol groups. Let me add a group from here. I don't know whether that will work or not. Okay. So Bristol admins, this Bristol user is part of Bristol admins group. Right now, let's add this group over here, admin group. Right, this is admin group. So Bristol admin, and if I click next and scope groups, I am going to add corporate devices. Right, company owned devices into this admin. Right, I am not going to add any users. Let's see how that works. Scope tag, obviously Bristol is that what we need, right? And click next, create. Now the assignment is there. I hope everything is okay. Let me confirm one more thing over there. Roles. If I go to roles, scope tags, and if I go to Bristol scope tag, you can see the company owned devices. So that is there. So should be fine. Right now, let's log in to the Bristol user with Bristol user login, right, into the Intune portal, endpoint.microsoft.com, and hopefully, I don't know whether it is going to take time again, right? Uh, Bristol, and this is the first time I am logging into this user. Hopefully, it won't ask me to change the password. Oh, come on. This is difficult part. Okay, let's check whether that works or not. Okay, it worked at least. Okay, so we have logged in, and okay, so it is going to take some time, as we have seen yesterday also, right? Probably it might take another 5 minutes or so to get this access sorted out its own, right? So you don't need to worry about this when you see this error initially, right? Normally it happens, right? This is what yesterday I have seen, right? So now let's go back and sign out and check our device access is back for um, the other user. So we have provided device permissions, right? Deletion permission for this user. Let's check. This is help desk user, right? Let's check that came in or not. Right. So devices. Okay. So it is there now. So it is all kind of time consuming. Probably you might need to wait 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get this applied, even though it is cloud, right? It is going to take some time to assign the permissions and process the permissions within the backend service probably, right? That is why now the delete option is there. Earlier it was not there, right? So okay, so I think we can finish this for today over here. I don't know whether you have any questions for today. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, thank you all for joining in today. And we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye bye. Take care.
Thanks.